for a beautiful game number 5. Top Esports, they'll ban away that Ivern. They get the Vi off the table too. On the side of Weibo with red, they ban away the Kai'Sa and the LeBlanc.
And the difference is the Kai'Sa has been taken away. We've seen it in the past 2 games. A huge lead given over. I mean, this champion was going to just take over every single team fight. So WeiboGaming being on the red, they're not going to give that over. So I'm assuming maybe they could consider something like the Xayah now that the Kai'Sa isn't in the conversation anymore, since it does get outranged by something like that AP. But still, triple jungle bans coming out of Top Esports. They are scared of Weiwei, especially when he did pick the Ivern in that game 4. Although not on a hard engaged jungler, he was still getting stuff done 24/7 on the map, and that's why this champion was so fierce.
Finally, the Maokai comes through as a ban again. You gotta see that one there, as well as no more Fanghorn Forest here ever again, it feels like. Now, first pick will be pivotal for Top Esports. We've seen them kind of hover over some of the flexibility before, but I wonder where they go to. We've seen the Azir make it through here in the first phase. Does that become a priority, or is it just the Jace yet again for Rookie?
We need the Azir for Rookie.
There it is.
In game 5, the Jace isn't working out in the past game, of course, but still, Rookie is one of the best Azirs that we have in the LPL, and it's finally been let through open into this game 5. I mean, Hysterics was talking about it off screen. Perhaps the Sejuani linked alongside the Azir, where it will provide great AoE into those team fights. But WeiboGaming, they can consider the Jace themselves. You can find early game leads, but Xiaohu the Tristana, he was dominating.
He was a menace, just being able to take down so many side lane turrets, but also just provide that demolishing strength. It is going to be that yet again opt-in for him, something he's been really highlighting on. But I love that Rookie is just bringing his Emperor into the Emperor of Xiaohu. We'll see this Sejuani actually be maybe a nice lock-in for them, because I think Weiwei, with those preemptive setups, with the skirmishing, the early pathing he can provide, could enable the composition very well already, even just in the first 2 picks, and that Sejuani does get locked in.
Now with the Rel and the Maokai out of the conversation, the jungle pool is a little bit narrow, so maybe Tian can lean back to something like the Lee Sin or the Nocturne to go for those side lanes and really help, or at least shut down the Tristana, who will be pressuring the tier 1s in top or bottom. But we'll have to wait and see, because the Renekton is still up and available. Potentially the Shy will take that as the Xayah gets hovered. The Xayah and the Azir is such a notorious combo in diffusing engages, and they're great at team fighting as well. So we'll have to wait and see if Top Esports can pull this off.
I do really like it. You just have so much peel back available to you when you have this duo here as well.
There's also the Rakan available for Mark to pick on this 3rd position, but that means they're dropping jungle to 4 and 5. And with the jungle pool already being pinched so much, with Top Esports banning 3 of them, it's going to be really interesting on what Tian opts into if they do that.
Wayward's right back to a tried and true. We got the K'Sante locked in.
And K'Sante bringing it back to game 1 of how the series started. It was Wayward getting the MVP. It was Wayward getting a 3-man Q3 onto the opposing team. But this time around, the Tristana and the Zeri locked in. Supports are still up and available. Nautilus is going to get considered by WeiboGaming to get banned out, as it is going to be a huge counter into the double ADC carry composition. But still, I want to see something like the Alistar that can also create huge AoE CC in the team fights.
I always like the Zeri for light, even if it had fallen out of the priority meta there. It does give you that double marksman composition for Weibo with that double-edged sword there for them. The Nautilus ban and the Rumble ban, some harken backs to what we've already seen in this series.
The Jax is still left up and open for the Shy if he wants to take that. There's still a lot of viable champions that can go into the K'Sante, perhaps just the Renekton lock-in into Wayward for the game 5. Although, once the Bramblevest comes online, the matchup does get a little bit more difficult, but we have to throw it back on the Shy 1v2ing in this series on that Renekton, completely outplaying the top end jungle of Top Esports. Let's see if he can do it again as the Poppy gets taken away, as that's also a viable champion that could have gone towards the jungle. But now, once again, the same question. Maybe a Nocturne for Tian in this game 5.
Man, I do, that could be an interesting opt-in there. I still really like Crisp on the Rakan here, also taking away the Lovers duo. But you wonder if there is going to be that adaptation, right? We have seen a pretty stagnant state of things so far.
I don't like this Miller getting locked in for Top Esports.
Yeah.
They need hard engage. The Skana also works as an AD jungler that has huge focus in, not the Jarvan. The enemy team has so many jumps and mobility. This is not going to work. So potentially just the Skarner for the Game 5. What is with LPL and locking in Skarners for Game 5?
Let's
EDG's
go!
done it. LNG's done it. And now Top Esports on match point will also play the Skarner to determine if they get to go to the regional qualifiers.
Captain Flowers better wake up over there in the LCS because we got a Game 5 Skarner. Everything coming down to the engage of TN, but we have the hover for Giga Shy. This is something that we haven't seen in this series yet. It has been a pivotal pick for the Shy, and he'll lock it in.
This is going to be the first time the Shy plays Gwen since the start of the summer playoffs. And the first time we see him on something that isn't a tank outside of the Rumble. So he has a true potential of carrying this game away against champions like the Skarner and the K'Sante, which won't be able to deal with this Gwen on the side. But we'll have to wait and see, because I feel like this entire series, it hasn't really been too much about draft outside of the first one. It's about who engages better. This time around, WeiboGaming, they have the Sejuani, they have the Rakan. These two champions working together to go for those picks has been key for WeiboGaming. But on the other side, Top Esports, they have great disengage. They have the Zai, they have the Azir. So it's been about team fighting from start to finish, and it's going to end a bloody one.
And you hear the crowd getting pumped. The energy is electric. One of these teams will have no more say in 2023. The stars have aligned, and they've all gathered here in Xi'an. And as Top Esports is trying their damnedest to find a win yet again on blue side, Weibo have everything going for them. The crowd feels Weibo centered. We even heard hysterics with all of his bias, but it is one last game on Summoner's Rift to determine if you keep going forward or if you end in tears and disappointment.
The pressure is on. It's all up to a singular game for both of these organizations, or their journey for summer ends tonight. The first 4 games have been extremely fast-tempoed, and coming into this Game 5, I expect nothing the less. But of course, the Skarner is going to be key coming into this final game. We have yet to see this champion getting played by Tien throughout the entire split. But this is going to be a huge risk for Top Esports, but if they can pull it off, they go to the regional finals.
We are getting into it now as the arena goes dark. All eyes on these lit up stage on this Summoner's Rift as Game 5 and Silver Scrapes ring in your ears. You know the LPL always delivers. This was destiny between these two teams, and there is nothing left but one more game. Giles roar as we come into our Silver Scrapes Game 5. You might not be able to hear it as purely at home as we can here, but my heart is pounding. Everyone in this building watching so intently to see who has a date with EDG on the other side.
The chants from the fans is rumbling the ground in the Chujiang Sports Center. This is such a crucial series for either organizations, as it is an entire years of hard work, and also a ticket, or a potential ticket, towards the world stage.
So one thing we've seen in this series, you highlighted it coming out of draft, it has been a very quick pace when a team gets ahead, especially from the blue side, except for the game that Top Esports had to claw back from Weibo. But now as we get into it, we were talking a little bit about the peel back and the potential that Top Esports has as a composition, and the fact that Rookie's on his ear yet again.
The biggest difference coming into this Game 5 is that Mark is now on Milio, an Enchanter support. We haven't had a single Enchanter support in the past few series of the entire LPL, and this time around, the Milio gets locked in, paired alongside Jackie Love. They won't have that agency, and the biggest factor into tonight's series was the jungle and support link-up that they so desperately rely on to set up that fast tempo for the carries to work off.
On the other side, I love the double marksman composition, but we've already talked so much about it in this best of 5. There is that bend and break style, the double risk, double reward, but you have to get to a scaling promise there as well with that kind of composition.
And the Shy, given the counter pick on the red side, we have yet to see red side win in this entire series. It's all been about blue. But with the Gwen getting locked in for the Shy for the first time in summer, at least from playoffs, he has to be ahead to really dominate the side. Weiwei, he's wrapping around from the tri-bush.
It is. It could be a little bit of something going down here on the bottom side as the Blade Caller actually buys a lot of time here. Mark will end up having a flash. It's not going to be first blood just yet, but we get Weiwei's early presence bot side.
Double Summoner's burn from the AD carry of top Esports as well, but it was beautifully salvaged by the double root landing from the Zaya, and it kills the play. But Weiwei now spotted with his gank towards the bottom side. The clear is going to be a little bit slow, but this is the fast tempo that has been created ever since the start of tonight's series.
And I love that Weiwei is being very proactive because Tien is just going for that full side clear for himself, and that is a little bit of the difference of approach that we're seeing already between the two junglers.
My eyes are all onto this Skarner, because the reason why you pick Skarner is, of course, for that level 6 ultimate. And you know who doesn't get away from a Skarner? Tristanas and Zeris. There's a reason why Nautilus is a permaban against, or at least for the Zeri against the Nautilus. But this time around, it's in the jungle. But still, the champion is relatively weak for the first 6 levels, so that's why Tien, or at least Weiwei, is so incredibly urgent on forcing plays.
And we've already talked so much about the legacy that all these players have. We have so many accolades across this entire rift here, but it is experience that is going to be the key factor here, and leaning on that as well. I love to see the difference come out from Tien and from top Esports, and it has been the blue side that has been their bread and butter, it feels like, for them. So now for that proactivity that Weiwei has, I want to see some answering from Tien as well.
And talking about Weiwei, his entire journey in summer so far, the development is there. He came onto this WeiboGaming roster with huge expectations, replacing Karsa from spring, and WeiboGaming, they look as together as ever.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, I think. You know, we got to see, obviously, Light changing over from LNG. A lot of these members from Weibo coming over here in 2023. But Xiaohu has been such a main part of the growth that Weibo has had, right? You knew this guy from RNG. You knew his strength as a general for that team. But the fact that he's found peers that can rise to the occasion with him is also important. They're going to have to change the fate of things here and hope for a first-time red side win in this series.
3-time MSI champion in the mid laner of WeiboGaming. He wants to prove himself at the world stage once again, but that goes the same for Rookie. He's been snubbed every single time from going to that world stage at the internationals, so he needs to fight for an opportunity to prove why he is one of the best mid laners in the LPL.
That's the craziest thing, is Rookie just hasn't found success since he left IG. He found a little bit in a monumental season with V5, but it hasn't been lasting success. And now, as we get into this one, we have the first dragon already up tempo for Weibo. They're going to find Tien on the back end of it. It wasn't the dragon they wanted. They wanted some scorpion meat to kick things off.
And Chris beautifully wraps around the vision and catches Tien off guard. They're going to collect themselves the first blood and also the first dragon. And that is this entire Game 5 starting to an absolute bang.
It is indeed. Weiwei was already very proactive. The fact that they find that back-end fight is huge.
And the first blood goes into the hands of Xiaohu. Xiaohu was the reason why they were able to win Game 4 in such a convincing manner. We'll get a replay of this where the ward spots out Tien at the Raptor camp, and he had no idea the support of WeiboGaming was able to make his way towards the red. And the CC, Tien still had the flash, but the synergy out of the team of WeiboGaming, they needed this kill.
Mark wanted to help so bad, but just a little bit of missed timing there for him. I actually see bottom side going to defend the back there for Crisp, and does end up doing so.
And in every WeiboGaming win so far, it's all been about Crisp and Weiwei's ability to set up for these plays. It's not about the team composition. I feel like ever since Game 1, every composition was winnable, but it all came to set up and how these players approach team fights. And Chris has been amazing on champions like the Leon, and this time given a Rakan with such mobility, you have to play with the flash timers perfectly against top Esports because they have the Azir, they have the Zaya. A flank is going to work perfectly for WeiboGaming.
Now for Top Esports, we're getting very close to TN hitting level 6. That was a big unlocking factor for them to try to shut down any of these double carry styles from Weibo and find Xiaohu and Light. But Xiaohu's already getting back to his construction work that he was doing last game. And he's able to find some plates in mid lane on the Tristana.
The annoying thing will be for the double AD carries of WeiboGaming is that they will be forced to build a QSS against the Skarner, and that does deny the 3-item spike. As the W lands, I'm not too sure if it's going to result into too much other than just a little bit of a health trade. But back to my point where once the QSS comes online, the Skarner no longer has the option to lock down either Xiaohu or Light, so potentially gets onto the Shy, where it pulls this Gwen into the hands or pockets of Jackie-Love, and they play front to back.
That's going to have to be the ticket here, especially because, again, we haven't seen the red side win just yet. Weibo were very close to one. They had such a good early lead, but then they lost it. Got a little bit lost in the sauce. We do have the Rift Herald coming up, and Weiwei already this way, so is TN.
We'll keep highlighting the importance of Tristana having that first Rift Herald into her pockets, especially collecting that first blood as well. WeiboGaming would love to keep rolling the ball and continue this snowball coming out of the early game, but still, we have the supports already roaming up. Chris being a little bit faster in tempo, but the difference is Mark is an Enchanter support. He's not going to offer as much.
Yeah, I do want to also focus on our key matchup of the day that feels like has been a bit of 50-50. This mid lane, though, is capitalized on. Push 3 members into the turret here as Rookie makes it known that he is the Emperor this game. We got TN going topside, though. He does have that level 6, but can't get the range onto the Shy.
Mark was so close to dying there, but Rookie with the 3-man Emperor's Divide saves his support. But that's double Summoner's gone, and also a huge ultimate that Top Esports requires to contest for this Rift Herald, but it does seem like Xiaohu is going to reset. Without that TP available, Top Esports, they regain somewhat of a control in this mid lane.
They actually want to look to capitalize on Mark and Rookie in the mid lane here. No vision towards this top side, going to spot out Weiwei. Meanwhile, Top Esports feel comfortable because of the Rift Herald. Jackie-Love is on his way. He will make it here first. Light is nowhere nearby, so Top Esports feeling good to go in. There's that Skarner grab and the Blade Caller combo on top of it. It's working so well together, Kitty.
And they secure themselves the Rift Herald, perfectly denying away from WeiboGaming. And once again, the Skarner with the Flash ultimate completely catches Weiwei off guard, as WeiboGaming trying their best to regain some of that gold that they lost through these tower platings. But still, a great team fight because of the rotation out of the bottom lane.
How dirty is that combo? You just get the Impale there and you just line them up for the feathers, and you know, Jackie-Love pulls them back and you got an easy CC chain there for yourself. That is the kind of style they want to bring to this one. That was what we highlighted from draft.
Because Top Esports, they have champions like the Xayah and the Azir, Weiwei is going to have an incredibly difficult time. This champion is a little bit stubborn when it comes to the engages. It's going to be a little bit rough on how he decides to take these chances, but now Jackie-Love rotating towards the top side, he is going to force the Rift Herald and collect 2 plates.
Tempo is the name of the game, and TES, we're trying to put some tempo on the top side. Very, very close to that other plate there as Weiwei is going to aggress back onto him, but some feathers will do some work into Sejuani as now Jackie-Love gets engaged back onto. Some nice defense from Weibo, but continuing to pressure his Top Esports bot lane in the top lane.
So far, Top Esports have been the proactive team when it comes to macro. You have the double AD carries.
Oh, the back just got completed for TN. He is nowhere near to help, and the Shy wants the kill. There's the TP coming in. That's Rookie that's going to join. Gameplay ain't going to save you today, Jackie-Love, as Rookie and Mark are now left out. That's another beautiful Emperor's Divide from Rookie, and he's showing how that peel can really work for them.
Over-ambition is Jackie-Love's biggest mistake on this Xayah, burning every single ability and the ultimate. WeiboGaming, they catch the AD carry of Top Esports, over-pushed, and they punish accordingly.
And now with this state of game, a little bit of chaos, the Dragon is already started up by TN, and both teams are just trying to gun towards victories for themselves. I mean, you would expect nothing less from both of them, but the tempo right now is in Top Esports' favor.
And because Light was solo farming in the bottom lane, getting that XP by himself, he has the static shift.
Whoa,
he wants
whoa.
to contest.
Little lightning crash there to give him some juice back into it here. Weibo will be trying to capitalize on TN, who has nothing left to get out of there. They are going to get him in the end, and it's Light that gets the kill. Ultra Shock Laser will end up slowing him down, but Weibo, they'll respond, and they get that one back.
Light is playing ever so confidently in tonight's series. A second time on the Zeri as he collects even more plates through this bottom lane. Yes, Top Esports got the Rift Herald. Yes, they got gold into Jackulov, but that was split between two people, while Light has been solo farming in this bottom side as a Zeri.
We'll see the transition back down towards this bottom side, though, as Mark heading back down there as well. The reset does come through from Wayward, and that's something else I want to highlight. I know we talked about the holistic compositional strengths here, but I do want to go back to our key matchup in the top side of the map, and the Shy versus Wayward. The culmination here is the Gwen versus Cassante. What kind of influence do you see the Shy having later on in the game?
WeiboGaming has a very scary composition in a 1-3-1 type of split push that they can apply towards the later stage of the game, especially through the Shy, where once 3 items come online, I doubt Rookie or Wayward can even match, because you have to consider the fact that Rookie, he plays with range, but the Shy, having that Shroud in his pockets, I mean, Azir is going to get absolutely stumped on in the side, but still, they have to get to that point. They have to be on the lay low, but still, they have this early game advantage. And Tien, I mean, his flash is coming up soon, so he has to stop that.
Well, at least we got the check-in on top side. If I start smelling burgers, we'll go ahead and go back there. But Weibo, they want to go right to Rookie, who's all alone on the top side. He does have the crown completed, so it's going to buy a lot of time for him. But it's Weibo that want to capitalize. They're looking to pounce on the Emperor of Shurima. The Glacial Prison misses, and that just means Weiwei is just heading straight out of there. Rookie holding the pressure of Weibo.
This has been an ongoing trend with the Sejuani for tonight's series. These Glacial Prisms aren't hitting. And with that, I mean, Rookie just gets away scratch-free while Wayward picking up a tower play into his pockets. But once again, I feel like Top Esports, with this composition, they will excel at 5v5 team fighting. Front to back is going to be their bread and butter. While on the other side, WeiboGaming, they have to find flanks with Crisp, with the Shy. We already saw that Crisp, when it was the first dragon, he got behind Tien and he got that first blood into Xiaohu's pocket. So his requirement of playing perfect this game is going to be key.
If you see that left side of your screen right there, Weibo fans are rejoicing. Anytime you see 2 marksmen in the lead with a double marksman composition, you're feeling that it mighty fine. But the thing I have to focus on here is the relationships between these teams. They know each other so well, not only from the LPL regular season, but also the history. We have world champions on either side that got those championships together, and it all comes down to one final game, Kitty.
And this best of 5 is a redemption for either Top Esports or WeiboGaming coming into 2023. These are super rosters in the LPL. Like you said, 5 total world championships shared amongst the players. And this is the only chance that they have to continue their run in the regional qualifiers and get that 4th seed, or at least compete for it against EDG.
Now we do have some timers on objectives coming up, about 30 seconds for that next Rift Herald, about 1.5 minutes for the Dragon. So you like the separation of the timers here? That just means we're going to be looking at Fight Night City around the objectives themselves. Tien and TES already present to try to get the Spire ahead of time.
4-man rotation coming out of Top Esports as well, with every single summoner available. My eyes are still onto Tien with the flash available on the Skana, because an ultimate from Tien is going to be a guaranteed kill for Top Esports if they focus correctly. But still, the decision-making has to be clear coming into these team fights.
It does indeed, and you see a lot of the vision is already present. That Scuttlecrab's actually doing some serious work for Weibo as well, but both teams positioning so heavily around this objective, Kitty.
The Glacial Prism has to hit from Weiwei, but Top Esports, they caught out.
There it is. There's that Glacial Prism. Just going to be used preemptively there as Tien takes the brunt of it. We'll end up coming right back. Crisp was looking for a little bit of an angle here. Does end up getting the Hex Gate right out, and Tien starting up the Rift Herald.
But because the Glacial Prism has already been used to no effect, Top Esports, they have a time frame to start this up. WeiboGaming, they're most likely going to give this one.
No, Weiwei. They're going to TP in. Weibo do not want to go down without a fight. The Impale is there, the double knockup, triple knockup. There's the lightning crash from Light, though. You got to watch the ADC. Xiaohu can't get the reset there as well. That Rift Herald is not there anymore, but the fight is still going. Xiaohu gets Jackulov on the side, and the Shy takes down Wayward. Weibo, they find enough kills, but Xiaohu's overextended here and gets one back. The reset out, and your Xiaohu Emperor has arrived.
Bow down to the Emperor of Spring, because he's making his way one step closer to becoming that player to revisit the world stage, but Xiaohu in this team fight on the Tristana made the difference by killing both JackeyLove and Tian with a slither of health.
How fitting is it that the Shy and Xiaohu are the ones that have the gold? 2-0 on the Shy, 3-0 on Xiaohu. He's looking at the outer tower here, as well as first turret gold, and it is looking all Weibo so far with a pretty hefty gold lead, about over 5,000. They're looking at the Dragon now. This will be Dragon number 2.
The only hard engage that Top Esports have in their pockets right now isn't available. Tian's Stunner ult is such a long cooldown. JackeyLove's getting surrounded.
He is. The Sharks are swarming yet again. We've seen this happen time and time again, but he will be able to clear that one out. Tian is here. The Shy overcommitting a little bit. We'll have to burn the flash early. TP does come through, and that will be Rookie. Maybe looking for a nice little Emperor's Divide there to try to make something happen. Weiwei will end up taking that Dragon, though, for Weibo.
WeiboGaming, I mean, once the snowball starts rolling, they never stop, and it truly feels like Xiaohu on this Tristana has been such a key factor in their wins. But with the Rift Herald getting over towards the side of Top Esports, they will manage to get 2 charges off in the top side, but still, the problem comes back to WeiboGaming. They are so accelerated right now. The Tristana is going to become a huge problem if Tian can't shut him down.
This Impale, though, in the back of the pit, so big, but it ended up pulling TES into the Wombo combo.
And you see Xiaohu, his decision-making is so clear, shutting down the Straggler in JackeyLove and getting this reset over the wall and using the Hex Gate to get to the back line. And then he finds access towards Tian, where Tian was very confident. He flashed back in thinking he would win the 1v2, but no, it was a 2-for-1 trade as he also killed JackeyLove.
Yeah, I mean, Rookie just doesn't have the damage right now, and the fact that Xiaohu barely survives by the skin of his teeth. You see the crowd going crazy as a Game 5 delivering for Weibo so far. We have seen them in a position like this before, though, Kitty, in this series. Top Esports are no slouches, and you have to always be careful about the engage that they have.
But now the 1-3-1 composition from WeiboGaming, they're slowly coming online. Navori's picked up for the double 80 carries as we saw the gold lead, that these 2 people are sitting at the very top through those tower platings, and it's because Top Esports, they're looking.
They're going straight on him. They're about to get the reset on the Rookie. Does end up getting out alive. Did have to burn that flash. The tower goes down, though, and Xiaohu, at this point, he doesn't even just need a construction hat. He needs the whole dang outfit.
Not feeling too excited about the Skarner right now. It is currently 0-3. I believe in the LPL, the Skarner has only been played twice throughout summer, once by Jieje and once by Tarzan. It is sitting on a 1-1 win rate, so 50. So this is going to be the 3rd time we see it in the summer. We have seen the ultimate, the flashes connecting onto Weiwei, but if you're getting all your resources onto a tank, Xiaohu just gets to play the game however he likes.
He does indeed, and he has about a 3,000 gold lead over Rookie in the mid lane matchup itself.
And he also just picked up the QSS, so that is going to be huge for Xiaohu, as Tian no longer has that access towards one of the most fed members on WeiboGaming. But now the problem, they're gonna start the Baron.
Oh my God, I love it. It is actually TS who are in no position to contest this one. They don't even know that it's happening. Tian, he's not even going to spot it out. Now they do with the blue trinket there, but it's too little too late. He's going to try to get in the pit. He can't do it. And Weibo, they're running away with it. Tian overextended himself and he's down. Again, the Scorpion has been skewered.
Top Esports is completely clueless about this Baron, and now with that secured, the Shy on this Gwen ever more so scary in the side lane, and Xiaohu on the Tristana. That is going to be a huge gold lead for the side of WeiboGaming.
He's almost getting to that 3-item spike. We have 2 items now completed for both Light and Xiaohu, and yes, we're getting to that point, the 3-item spike for the double marksman composition that we had set up from the beginning. It's looking like the clock is about to hit midnight.
All Top Esports can do is to pray that WeiboGaming can't find a successful engage through Weiwei. But Rookie, he's caught out.
He is a little bit here. Weiwei wants to try to find that engage on the back end of it. The crown did get shattered itself. Rookie locked down, though, as that slow came out from the Glacial Prison. And tick, tick, boom, baby! Xiaohu calculated. And that means right onto a tier 2 tower, too. Look how quickly they take it.
They're swarming in on the map. You see the Shy also pressuring the bottom lane tier 2 as well. Wayward
Going
can't
for an
win
inhib.
the 1v1 anymore. They want to look for all 3 lanes, Mazel.
My goodness, they are flexing over to Up Esports right now. They do have the empowered back. Xiaohu playing with the confidence of a menace here. Meanwhile, Wayward versus Shy in the side lane 1v1. The Shy taking some extra tower shots there. The Needlework doing some work back, but he is pushing this tier 2, and it will go down 2.
Top Esports, they're running out of options. They need a force on one of the stragglers on the side lane, potentially the Shy on the Gwen. You have a hard CC. If you get into the Shy's little bubble, you can potentially force that numbers advantage, but with the Dragon spawning in 20 seconds, WeiboGaming, they have the tempo.
The scaling is starting to come online here for Weibo, and they just keep catching out Tien. He's going to try to get something here with the Impale. He's bringing it back. They did cook up some bird here as Chris went down. Jackie Love is there as well in some fight. Back is alive for Top Esports.
WeiboGaming, if they're greedy, they can test for this, but look at Xiaohu. He is going to start pressuring the mid lane as long as Light and the Shy can buy time for this Tristan. It's going to be Inhibitor on the side of WBG.
They are just going to trade this one down. This is only a second Dragon for Top Esports. The Shy on the back end here. Weiwei. No, it's Light that gets it. What the hell? How does he do it? Meanwhile, Xiaohu's taking mid lane. Light will be the sacrificial lamb. The damage has been done. And Top Esports, that bloody.
They sneak the Baron and they sneak this third Dragon away. Wayward.
Oh, the Shy's doing some work. He's snipping away the heartstrings of Top Esports. That's another one gone, and a double kill for the man himself. There's a pushback as Top Esports getting a little bit something, but it's the Xiaohu reset that gets him out alive.
But the base is in absolute shambles for Top Esports to play off. A huge steal coming out of the AD carry of WeiboGaming as that puts themselves onto Hex Soul Point. So in another 4 minutes, Top Esports, they are going to be forced to leave their safety of the base and contest for that, because Hex with this Zeri is going to become such a huge problem. However, if they do manage to get 3 items onto Rookie by the time of that 4-minute timer, they can potentially start winning these fights, because the Azir is going to be able to outrange the Zeri.
It's still an almost 10,000 gold lead for WeiboGaming. We see how this went down. I cannot believe Light gets it here.
Light snipes it with the W, and he could have potentially lived. I'm pretty sure he failed his jump over the wall. Right here, he could have went over the wall and bought some extra time, but a bit of a mechanical mistake. But still, it allowed Xiaohu to get the mid lane inhibitor, and the Shy on this Gwen is truly alive.
I love the commitment here from Top Esports. They just have to claw back something. They are able to get the TP in from Wayward. The Shy overextends. They absolutely capitalize on it, but the question is it gonna be enough with that much of a lead already built by Weibo?
That was a 3v5 from WeiboGaming. Chris got caught out. Xiaohu was in the mid lane, and still the Shy was able to go for an even trade-off, but still, Baron in 1 minute and 30 seconds really saw how fast WeiboGaming with a double AD carry composition and the Gwen does when it comes to shredding this Baron. So Top Esports, they have to contest for it.
Sitting at 5-0, 3 items completed now for Xiaohu. You also got your Knight's Vow completed for Weiwei. You're waiting on that 3rd item for the Shy. The scaling is already working out for Weibo, and Top Esports are gonna have to be very, very particular how they find their engages.
The Shy is level 15, and Tien is level 12. Top Esports, they need to force a pick before this Baron spawns, or else going 5v5 against WeiboGaming, they are never going to win because of the item advantage in the mid lane, now sitting on 3.5 with that QSS available as well.
Xiaohu will just take another turret. It's the Sun Disc this time. He's willing to take down any turret he gets put in front of him. They've already put Top Esports on such a back foot. The super minions in mid lane just lead to so much priority and decision making for Weibo.
Baron spawning in 30 seconds. The facts are getting channeled by Xiaohu. He has the TP as well. Potentially could just come back with that TP and cheat the tempo just a little bit. Top Esports looking for the mid prio.
You're wondering now, with a little bit of calmness on the Rift, Top Esports just need to get some vision control down outside. We have Baron spawning now, and Weibo reset in perfect timing for it.
But the Shy, no one can answer him in the side lane. They can potentially look for a 4-1 type of approach here, while WeiboGaming, they can still realistically snuck this with the pink on the Baron pit as well.
We're going to see them move actually this way as Top Esports feeling very hesitant. Xiaohu just racking up the gold. Again, you got to watch Wayward and the Shy in the side lane. It will be TPs available for them, so you know a 5v5 can brew if it comes through it. Crisp has a flank of an angle, and Tien gets engaged on here anyways by Weibo. He will end up getting out alive, doesn't have the flash
Look at the
yet,
Shy.
but it is the Shy pushing here on the back end of this fight. He could look for the long flank, and as you see Weibo turn back around, this could be the flank that means the difference of this game. Baron is there, TP in from Cassante, and that's going to be Wayward's big break. The Shy has found it. No, it's going to be Top Esports engaged on, and Weibo, they're picking them apart. It's Top Esports running around like chickens with their heads cut off, and I don't know if they can do it. They can't put them back on, and Light is still firing away. He's going to go over the wall. The Ultra Shock Laser dodged out of Jackie Love, just trying to put some feathers into the back and get some peel, but it's Top Esports that are on the back foot, and it's actually going to be a TP from Xiaohu to try to catch Jackie Love. He's going to get him here. That's a big catch out, and Xiaohu with another one.
The remaining member of Rookie stays alive in the mid lane. The timers are 10, 20 seconds off for the dead people on Top Esports, but still the Baron is going to be key, with also Hex Soul getting picked up by WeiboGaming.
We see now 7 kills on Xiaohu. The matter-of-fact moment for Top Esports was not here, Kitty.
The Shy utilizing his lane push from the bottom lane, making his way all the way to mid. But Xiaohu on this Tristana is way too fed, instantly one-shots the Skarner out of the fight. And that is just the entirety of the story as Baron gets rushed.
It's already started up. It's already almost dead, too. Before you even get out of the replay, the Baron is gone for Weibo. They've gotten the Hex Soul. They've gotten the Baron. And there might just be a couple more nails coming to the coffin of Top Esports.
With the Dragon Soul and a near full build Tristana for Xiaohu in this Game 5. They are going to slowly suffocate Top Esports as they run out of time with the Baron minions coming into their base. So Top Esports, they need to force a fight before the inhibitors really start falling down because of the Shy and Xiaohu.
And you have to remember, this has been a 10K deficit that Weibo have had for a long time, but that does not mean you can count out Top Esports. The pick-off engage that they have, the peel back that they have, it gives them a little bit of breathing room, even if it looks so dire right now.
GA and QSS both acquired for Xiaohu, while Light has that stopwatch available as well. Tien has little to no options on who he wants to engage on. Crisp is the potential victim, but still, it's just the support, while Xiaohu is going to be the main problem.
He is absolutely the problem. He's got GA, he's got the Sash, he is ready to push down this inhib tower and bottom side as well.
You see the Shy also pressuring towards that mid lane. Top Esports, they are getting desperate they have a closing in from the Shy as he picks up the mid lane inhibitor.
Yet again, it falls. The inhib tower, though. There's the Impale engage, and there's the Inverse Divide. That's what we were talking about. The peel back for Top Esports is there. Triple Quadra knockup, though, and it's the Shy over the top rope, and that is it. That is Top Esports done, and that is Weibo with a Game 5.
A bittersweet reunion between the brothers, and the best of 5 in Game 5 goes to Weibo.
Brothers be damned on the journey to worlds. There is only room for the ruthless. Weibo have a date with EDG for the final golden ticket. Absolutely incredible. Xiaohu, the Emperor of today, didn't even have to have the Azir in Game 5. Showed us how it's done on Tristana 2 games in a row, and he'll end Top Esports' season.
And the Shy hugging Rookie as the final farewell of 2023. Top Esports' journey of summer ends here as they get eliminated from the regional qualifiers. But that means WeiboGaming, they get to compete against EDG for the 4th seed at Worlds.
take the much-deserved bow. They find a win on red side for the first time in this series, and they will have a date with Destiny and a date with EDG. It is incredible to watch this team work. You've got everything going. The entire crowd lit up as we saw them take the Nexus, and it is something that Weibo have really come into their own here in this series.
And WeiboGaming, because their playoffs run got ended at the round 3, people were disappointed. The expectations weren't met, but they were given a second chance in the regional qualifiers and up against top esports. It was just an insane run, and congratulations to WeiboGaming for winning tonight's best of 5.
Congratulations indeed, absolutely deserved, but the job is not done yet. They still have to take on EDG. Now we are going to break down this series as a whole with Hysterics and Nymera over on the analyst desk. We'll see you there.
Man, I tell you what, it is nice not only to be right, I guess, in the end, but more importantly to experience that. Witness that Game 5, it was a stomp by the end of it. But the elation, not only on the crowd, but on the players, and more importantly, I guess on our faces, watching the action in the early game, was just insane.
And the way that they managed to do this, the way that Weibo managed to secure themselves passage into the next round was very important too, because it came through a style which they've typically failed at, let's be honest. This game required the Shy to be on not a teamfight tank, it was on a carry, it was on weak side, and it had to have great TP coordination with the rest of the team. Typically, these are the things that Weibo have struggled to do, the things that the Shy have struggled to do. And he did so well at it in that final game. It was helped by the fact that it felt like everyone else was very comfortable in that game. Light, magnificent performance on the Zeri. I think that the engaging players from jungle and support also did an incredibly good job. It felt like everyone really came into their own when they exactly needed it. And sadly, that means for top esports, they were outclassed.
No, I mean, again, a nice note to end for top esports, I think. Still, in that series, making Weibo work for it, but more importantly, showing us their strength. Game 2 was insane. The Game 3 comeback, insane. Jakulov throughout the series, a very consistent player, really trying hard to carry his team across the finish line. Although, again, today, I apologize, I'm excited about Weibo, but I think more importantly, excited to watch top esports again in the future, again next year. Top esports deserve to be here, and their performance was incredible. As I know shortly we're getting an interview. Man, you know, I know we got Chris coming up. He's an absolute legend. My God, absolutely deserves it. Anyway, you'll see that in a second. I was excited.
I can tell
I was
you what.
excited.
Obviously, we have to spare a couple of moments for top esports. Talked about their year. This was the team that was meant to come in with super team expectations. We know the history of these players. We know that they have so.
What does it say? Weibo,
They're
not frauds. Not frauds.
Okay.
Well done, Kitty.
In at least 3 games out of the 5. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens tomorrow with EDG. We'll see about that. But I mean, they did best top esports today. Sadly, their season ends here.
Does indeed. And again, like, it's not something, you know, we could send a team out and just be like, yeah, you know, they tried their hardest. Top esports genuinely tried their hardest getting to this point. Again, you know, this was a team that we said could actually make Worlds. A lot of people out there, I'm sure, were saying this is a team that could actually make a run for either 3rd seed, 4th seed, depending on where they finish in playoffs. They could have very well had that opportunity, but Top Esports is not about them today. It is about Weibo, as Christina is standing by with the legendary support. You need to halter. Game 5 legend, Crisp by the side. Hand it over.
Hello there, welcome to post-game interview. I'm Christina. We're joined by Crisp, the support for WBG. 欢迎 Crisp 选手来到我们的赛后采访，太激动了！跟我们英文流的观众朋友们先打个招呼吧。
大家好，我是 WBG-7奥迪英雄联盟分部的辅助选手 Crisp。
哇，再次欢迎 Crisp 选手。那么其实今天的这场比赛对你们来说是非常重要的嘛，要恭喜你们获得比赛的胜利。所以在赛前想问一下，你们大概是做了什么样的准备和调整呢？
就是我们一直来其实对自己的本身的实力还是比较自信的，就是我觉得我们只要不出失误的话，我觉得我们是会赢下滔博的。所以就算不管我们前期陷入再大劣势，或者是我们在当局的比赛中发生过很多意外，但我们始终坚信最后赢下比赛的一定是我们。
So my first question was that how did it prepare for this matchup? Because this matchup matters a lot for both sides. And Chris projects that we are very confident of our strengths. So when facing top esports, as long as even we can just get in the disadvantages in early game, we're still confident that we can fight back and find some opportunities. Even though we have made a little bit of errors or mistakes in the early game, we can just fight back because we are so confident of our strengths. So the next question, I want to talk a little bit about this Game 5, because today's matchup was so back and forth. In the first 4 games, on the blue side of the teams win, but coming to the very decisive matchup, you are on the red side. So what's your take on this part? Especially, could you please tell me about the draft for the last game, because we saw your opponent pick Skarna and it just got Guan as the last pick for WBG. 那么其实在今天的这局5局比赛当中，非常的有来有回，前4局双方都是旗鼓相当的对手，并且是在蓝色方的队伍获得了比赛的胜利。来到最后一局，微博这边，特别是从 BP 来讲，当看到他们最后一手选出蝎子打野，我们这一边微博这一边上路是拿出了格温嘛，想问一下，来到第5局之后，你们的心态是怎么样的？特别是从 BP 和阵容的这个角度来看。
其实第5局的话，就是整体对面的英雄选择其实都在我们的意料之中嘛，就是我们已经预想到了他们会选什么英雄，就除了蝎子这个英雄以外，然后我们是觉得就是选出格温的话，本身是我们上单很擅长使用的英雄，然后他也玩得很好，然后再加上我们当时4个英雄的话，其实我们已经拿到了我们想要的阵容，我觉得我们选下我们就已经赢了。
So first of all, actually we have expect what our opponent will pick, except that last pick Skarner. And coming to our draft, because we have got our appropriate first 4 picks what we want, and coming to the last pick because the side is so signature, so confident, so professional on the Gwen, we just let him to pick this part to suit the whole draft. And coming to the game 5, I think you guys played very cohesively from the early game. How did you manage to stabilize and snowball the game from very early game around those skirmishes and even those resources team fights to secure this win? 那么其实，在第5局的时候，我们发现微博这边打的是非常的协作，有协调性，而且你们是怎么样从前期的一些设计和资源团战、小规模团战上面，就可以在每一波当中积累了巨大的优势呢？
因为对面选的是米溜跟霞这样的组合，就是他们会在前期他们会想就是对我们下路展开压制嘛，然后我们想的是就是如果我们前期利用一个打野的一个心理上的差异，就是去抓他们一次的话，那么掉双招的话会让我们前期度过得更加顺利一点，然后就后续的一切应该都是我们就前面我们已经帮到打野，然后后面就是到我们来给到打野帮助的时候。
So firstly, our opponent picked Xayah and Emilio this body. Maybe this body is a little bit dominant and they want to get leads on bowling, so we just call our jungler for help. As long as we can manage to force them to force their summoner spells, which makes it can make us play more confidently on the bowling. And coming to the late game, coming to the mid to late game, after in the early game, our jungler already helped us, and we can also do something for our team to get the fight back. And later, I just know that you got MVP for the game 5. So how would you evaluate your own performance and your overall team's performance today in this matchup? 那么其实，在我们采访进行的过程当中呢，导播老师也有 cue 到，在刚才的这一局比赛当中 ，Chris 选手拿下了 MVP。所以今天对自己的发挥和对整个队伍的发挥有个什么样的评价呢？
我觉得其实我们今天的发挥还是挺不错的，就是在第3局的话，就是可能我们拿到了一个很大的经济领先，我们在那一局里面犯了太多的失误，其他的点我觉得大家今天都做得很好，我觉得我们要保持现在这个状况，继续往上面走下去，然后我们尽量减少我们今天犯的失误，我相信我们是一定可以晋级全球总决赛的。
So firstly, I do think we performed pretty good in today's matchup, especially in the game, except in the game 3. Maybe we got a big lead in early game, but we just throw it. But I do think we overall performed pretty good, especially in the last 2 games. And we are, as long as we maintain and keep our form, we are very confident of making the Worlds 2023. Final question for you. Speaking of the Worlds 2023, you are going to play against EDG tomorrow for the LPL's last ticket for the Worlds. So is there expectations for the last matchup? 那么刚才松松选手也是提到了，你们非常有信心晋级到全球总决赛。面对明天 LPL 资格赛最后一天 ，LPL 最后一张争夺2023全球总决赛的门票，对阵到 EDG。松松选手有没有什么期待呢？对这场比赛有什么看法？
我觉得对阵 EDG 的话，就是我们必须赢下这个 BO5，才能就是证明我们这个夏天的努力是没有 被辜负的。我相信我们整个团队，我们是一定可以击败 EDG 取胜的。
We have to win the EDG to make the World Finals, and also we have to win this win to prove that we have working so hard this split, not only for our players but also for our whole team, including this coaching staff and a lot of stuff. It will prove that our efforts we had put in summer was really relieved and really realized. Thank you so much for joining us. Really looking forward to tomorrow's matchup against EDG. 再次感谢 Chris 选手来到我们的赛后采访，期待你们明天针对 EDG 这一场非常精彩的 BO5。Okay, back to you guys. Bye.
Much, Christina, and thank you to Chris, who, ironically, while we were talking to him, picked up the MVP on the big screen behind us for game number 5 for his Rakan.